It's a pleasure for me to be here. I'm Pierre Lemire. I'm CEO of Kent Imaging, and I can't believe all the fantastic technology that's here. And because I've been involved in technology since 1983, I went to university with the intention of getting a commerce degree, took Computer Science 102, learned how to program in BASIC, and I've been building products ever since. And so I would love to tell you about how we're changing the game at Autodesk. Well, actually, at Autodesk, where I was one of my first jobs, I was part of a team where we developed the first web-based mapping and JS solution that ran with Netscape and on the Palm Pilot. And so I've been part of teams that really know how to push the envelope, and that's what we're doing at Kent Imaging. We're working on a solution that is solving a massive problem, which is being able to assess patients who have PAD. And we've been working in this space for a while. We've been focused primarily on wound care and wound care and surgery. And what we discovered through investing in research and in getting our 510K and working with clinicians is that this technology, which has multiple applications, has a very, very important role to play in the ability to detect patients who have PAD. So PAD is where you have calcium that blocks your arteries, prevents valuable and life-giving blood and oxygen to the limbs, keeps that from happening, right? And it ends up in people getting amputations, and the 5-year mortality rate for a patient with an amputation is very, very high. It's like most of the cancers, and so we need to fix this problem. When you look at that image, can you tell if that patient has PAD? So who's at risk of having PAD? Well, we have smokers, diabetics, people who have high cholesterol, hypertension. Anybody over 60? It's a lot of people. And the tests that we have are manual tests or an ABI, ankle brachial index. So most of the time, people do not get the test. As a result, we have over 80,000 amputations a year due to PAD and diabetes. And the cost of the health system, $4.4 billion in 2021, of which Medicare accounted for $3.9 billion of that, which means you US taxpayers, I'm Canadian, have you're carrying that. And so we can do a lot better. And we can do a lot better than the current standard of care, which is an ABI. So even if someone does come with a symptom, and they have this invasive test put on, you can see the pressure cuffs and so on, it's only 50% accurate, especially in diabetes and people with kidney disease. So you're missing half the population. Now comes our solution, Snapshot NAR. Can be used in all points of care. Here you're seeing it being used in an OBL, an outpatient-based lab. And there's the answer to your question. Does that patient have PAD? Well, yeah, those toes should be lighting up red. And they're not, because there's an artery feeding that angiosome that's not doing its job. And that person was sent to vascular, had a stent placed, and went on to a good outcome. Now, what's great about this technology is you can continue to re-image that patient time and again when they come in for their appointments to make sure that that stent that's been placed doesn't become blocked again and doesn't reoccur. When we compare against the standard of care, this technology is less invasive, takes less time, can be used on all patients in all points of care. We're developing reimbursement for it, and we will make this the gold standard. I'll give you an example of an organization, Mercy Healthcare, that has adopted this technology and is actually making a difference. They compared the use of Snapshot for a year after not having used it, and their healing rates went up significantly, as you can see, for wounds. But more importantly, their amputation rates went down 7.6%. That means they prevented over 22 amputations at this small clinic. And that means, because I mentioned the mortality rate, they saved the lives of 22 people. So our technology is also being used at the VA in Dublin VA. Their amputation rates went down to 4%. So it's making a big, big impact. We have it adopted in multiple wound management systems. We just signed WoundCentrics yesterday. We're really making an impact here. Here's protocol that was developed by one of our KOLs, well, I'll show you in a second. If you look at the images at the top, there's a supine and an elevation 45. The supine images are when we image the patient at rest. And you can see that it looks like they have good oxygenation. But just like you go to a cardiologist for a stress test, we stress the limb. We elevate it at 45 degrees and re-image after a minute. And we can identify patients who have severe PAD, send them off to a vascular surgeon for a stent procedure, get a good outcome, right? So our pilot studies concluded. We're doing our single site study at UT San Antonio, and we have our multi-site trial that's in IRB at the moment. I mentioned our KOLs. Dr. Craig Walker, who's a consultant to Medtronic, is advising us. Dr. Charles Anderson at the prestigious Madigan Army Medical Center is the one who developed this procedure with us. So they're guiding our direction. Everybody knows the big market, and imaging is going to change the way that we look at tissue and tissue assessment. Our goal is to be in every operating room, OBL, interventional radiology room, because this is where the technology needs to end up. Everybody says they have a highly experienced team. What I'm really proud of our team is we've been able to get Dr. Glyn Jones, one of the first plastic surgeon to use SPY that was sold by Novadac to Stryker. He's now guiding our strategy. Dr. Jeffrey Nizgoda had his own outpatient-based lab after running the Aurora wound care system, is now guiding us on our OBL strategy. So we're really excited about the team that we've been able to build. So we're here raising, to really conclude our $20 million raise. TVM Capital invested our Series A. They're also part of the Series B. So we can continue this great work. We're looking for someone to just help us price the round and get us done so we can move on. Because this technology can help save amputations and help your friends, your family, even you, because of how pervasive this disease is. So looking for someone to join us on this journey. So if you have any questions or like to talk to me later, I'd be happy to take them. So thank you very much and enjoy the rest of the conference.